Hello, Mark Red Larson here for Dreamcatcher Podcast. Thanks for joining me today. Um, when I'm recording this, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So I thought it would be the topic that I should talk about today because I am so grateful. I am so grateful for what is right now and for what we've gone through, Cheryl and I. Many people would be better, I think. Um, but I have become so in tune with God and my blessings and being grateful with everything that's gone on in the last year and a half that I thought I needed to go really in depth what Cheryl and I have gone through. And and this kind of got me to the point where I'm so grateful for Cheryl. And we just actually had an argument, and with everything that's gone on in the last year and a half, it's tried this relationship. But we're still very, very strong. I mean, we're coming up on 34 years of marriage. It's not the first argument we've had, but I know some people would they would think that's the end of it, and it's only the end of it if you decide it's the end of it. But no, I'm grateful for Cheryl. She's working, enabling me to, through the grace of God, to continue doing what I'm doing with these podcasts and everything I'm doing lately, trying to build this thing to help people in the world. And and I talk to God daily, and I don't know if Cheryl believes me, but he is awesome. He is great, and that's one thing I didn't realize how much I really had little contact with God before all this. Like I've said before, I always thought that he was that entity that probably was real, but yeah, we just celebrate Christmas, did all that stuff, Easter, and the Bible was just a book, and but God does talk to me daily. It tells me what to do daily. I don't know if Cheryl believes that. I'm still praying Cheryl will hear him. But God does amazing things. Just like last Saturday, we were going to go and go to the Y in Hastings, but they by chance had there was a swim meet there, so we couldn't use the swimming pool. So, and God had told me early in the day, he told me you might be going to Grand Island, which is a town that's just north about half hour, 45 minutes. And we went to that one, which never have ever been to that Y. And we walk in, and two of my friends that I haven't seen were both there. It's just like, I told Cheryl, it's like, there's no way that's coincidence. And there is no such thing as coincidence. Everything is planned out. And I always thought there was coincidences, but there isn't. Um, it's all planned out. Everything. And there's no such thing as luck, because when you think it's luck, it's always God. And Cheryl's still having a little problem with that, but it is. It's just it's actually very calming, peaceful. So I'm going to drink some coffee before I start having a coffee fit here. So very grateful for my coffee. So but it does. It was so awesome. We had a great conversation over there with both of them. And there was no way that could have happened with both of them, not even from the same area. We're both there at exactly the time Cheryl and I walked into the Y in Grand Island. So there's so many of those things, and it's like you just say, "That was you, God, wasn't it?" And I smile, and excuse me. So, but yeah, we've been through the ringer the last year and a half. Actually, like I've said before on these podcasts, since Italy. And, we went from Italy to basically, we still have amazing a lot, but not much compared to what Cheryl and I have been used to in our life. We're still very blessed. But people would look at it as it's trials and tribulations to level you up to become a warrior for God, if you want to use that terminology. But you because most of this world doesn't think much of God, and so if you're going to be a warrior for God, you're going to have to be pretty tough. And all these trials and tribulations are tests by God to see if you're able to do it and move to the next level. And I can't even believe it. The year and a half ago, Mark would have never been even in this mindset. We're talking about this, but it's been one trial and tribulation after another. So I am with anticipation what God has planned for me to do for this world. I know He's showing me that He said, I want you to show people their gift that I've given everybody and show them the way of how to use that gift. And I would be honored to do that because everybody's got a gift. People think they don't. Everybody, that person on the street, the person over in Africa that I've talked to a lot, they all have gifts. There's not one person on this planet that doesn't have a gift that they can give back to the world. Everybody has a calling. God didn't put you here just to be here. And sometimes you wonder about that. It's like these people on the street. What is their calling, or what? And sometimes it can be being on the street that they can show other people the other way how to get off the street. It's not my knowledge to know. So excuse me, but um, and I'm so glad that I have coffee and stuff and this technology to be able to do these podcasts. So but yeah, Cheryl and I, we have had, when this all occurred, it was scary, and I know a lot of people are going through scary times. I talk to so many people that are living on the edge. And I think in this country, we're living on the edge a lot of because of medical debt, and I, for one, I don't think I'm going to do anything with the Affordable Care Act ever again. It's not worth anything. And if we start making money, then we start have to pay the big premium. And there's no way in God's earth that our premium coming up for this coming year, because I have looked, is $3,300. There's no way that should be that way. That is unbelievable. You know what I could buy for $3,300, and here I'm just maybe going to get some medical care. Um, I'll just give it to God, and God will show me the way to cover our medical expenses if we have the need for that. Because I think as long as we keep doing this with the Affordable Care Act, it's going to continue. What you allow continues, and that is so true on every level. Just like people like Cheryl was wanting me to, basically go back to handyman. One thing, I don't know if I could physically do it, and I can understand her thinking, but it's like, okay, we know why we stopped doing handyman, because I was having so much problem with this arm and my back, and it's my right arm, for if you're listening to this. So that's why I don't even know if I could do one day. We had to quit, but it's like you don't go running back to something that didn't work. There's been a lot of things that haven't worked, long term. They worked when they were supposed to work. But it's just like, no, I got to go with what God tells me to do daily to move forward. And I know Cheryl doesn't understand that, and that has been why we have some disagreements. So, but she doesn't see what I see, and nobody does. Everybody sees the world differently. You see it according to what God wants you to see it. Um, what he's moving us all forward, even if we don't see it. I truly believe he is moving us forward. I think some people are stuck. I think when you get on the street or without any money, you can be stuck in your mind. I can understand that overthinking things. So, but excuse me. Um, but don't let life happening stop you from capturing your dreams. Because the evil devil will always do that. He doesn't want you to get your calling from God. He does not. So, and I didn't know if I believed in the devil, but there is definitely evil and good in this world. Like everything, there's two sides to everything. And I found that out more and more every day. So, yeah, it's just don't let things like there's always people out there. Reach out to God. Pray. Um, and God always responds. You don't know how he's going to respond, but he does. But on this day that's coming up of Thanksgiving tomorrow, give thanks. I'm grateful for everything, because everything you have is his. You own nothing on this planet. You own nothing. And everything, the work you have, the food you have, this electricity, everything I have to do this is all by the grace of God. And he can take it away as fast as he gives it. I don't find him being a fearful God. I've said that before on podcasts. Everybody's like a fearful God. He's like a strict dad, or parent. I see him as a father, and he is. He's awesome. He's trying to guide you like parents should do nowadays more, I believe. Guide their children to being good citizens, good people that follow God. And I think we're missing out on that a lot. I think leaving these kids to be kind of raised on their own. And I understand that because a lot of times you're having to work more to try and pay the bills. And yeah, it'll always come out great. The people that there's always people that come out through those situations and thrive. Not everybody, but it isn't everybody's path to do that. So yeah, I am grateful for everything I have. Just know that if you're going through stuff like Cheryl and I've been going through the last year, I mean, from losing most everything. I mean, like I told you, we've had our power turned off twice, and by the goodness grace of God through my sister, she helped us out. My dad helped us out when we weren't able to pay our property taxes. The bank has helped us out. There's been so many people. It's been humbling because we've had so many people come up. I think through God's calling to tell them to help us, have helped us out, and it's been heartwarming. We've seen the people that have really been behind us and have our back. And just reach out if you're going through something. If you can't pay your taxes, you can't pay your medical bills, if you can't pay electricity, whatever it is you can't pay, reach out. There are people and organizations that will help. And yeah, it can be humbling, but that's what they're there for. And you never know when you go reach out who you're going to meet. That might be that person that makes a difference in your life. Because God's putting people together, crossing paths all the time. And I just smile a lot because he does a lot with me, and probably did before I realized it. But it's just so cool to have this technology, have everything that I have right now. Trying not to cough again. So, but yeah, we are all blessed in this country. We're blessed. There's this, like I told you, I've been talking with this young gentleman in Uganda. He's trying so hard to feed these orphans, and he has nothing, but he's still doing it. And I think about how much I should be grateful for, how much I have in this country. And I am grateful. I'm sitting in a chair with a nice warm house, having a cup of coffee. Um, yeah, I have nothing to complain about. And but yeah, had these people do it just because you have to have the mindset and nothing's going to stop you. And there are days that it's going to want to be one of the toughest things you have to do, as nothing's going to stop you. But just be grateful for what you have tomorrow, and or on Thanksgiving when this drops. I'm going to drop this on Thanksgiving morning, so it'll be on Thanksgiving Day. Be thankful for the food you have, the people you have, and if you're getting together, talk to your family. They'll be gone all too soon. It was just the other day that it had been 3 years ago that Cheryl's mom had passed. My mom had passed, probably getting close to that. And you maybe have arguments. Get over those arguments. If you love the person and their family, get over them. Friends, family, whoever it is. It looks, when you look back on the whole scheme of things, it's like it was so irrelevant. Whatever your disagreement was about, or your whatever it is, get over it and just make them have the mindset of nothing's going to stop you. You're going to be having a great time on Thanksgiving. It's all about mindset too. It's like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to have a great time on Thanksgiving or whatever it is. I'm going to be thankful for all the food, the turkey, whatever you're eating, the stuffing, and I'm going to be thankful for what I have right now. And I think that's one of the biggest things I get people around the world thinking. You're so thankful on Thursday, and then you do Black Friday on Friday. And it's like they say, explain that to me. And it's like, yeah, the marketing has worked all too well. I don't do Black Friday. I don't do shopping a lot. I just but it's just yeah. When you're doing Black Friday, if you do it, I can understand getting together with family and doing it. And but I just don't find getting out there and getting a sale for something materialistic that is actually God's anyway. And yeah, is gone too soon. I mean, it's like you're on to the next thing, and when you're on that wheel that I always said that the country's on, the next thing in a hurry. Yeah, just think about it. It's like, why do I really want this TV? Why do I want whatever it is you're wanting on Black Friday? Be thankful for what you have now. Be truly, truly thankful because it could be gone all too soon. Like I told you, it can be gone. You could lose it all. And so you better be thankful for what you have now because all you have is now. And maybe instead of spending money on a new TV or whatever it is, uh, go donate that money to somebody that is homeless. You could make the day of them getting off the street and making a difference in the world. You don't know, and I've talked about Ripple all the time. You don't know what that money could do to help somebody and show somebody the way, like God wants me to do. Show somebody the way with your gifts. Like I said, all of us have gifts, and yeah, it just show your gifts to the world. And if you don't know, then maybe you need to sit and just sit in no technology, sit in total quietness. Because, like I said, silence has answers. That's why these people that go to the Y and always have their AirPods in and have their headphones on are missing an opportunity to hear God and hear the universe talk to them about what they really should be doing. You know, that's why I don't do headphones. I don't do any of that. Yeah, I might listen to music, but I'm not going to do it that way. For one thing, I think it's an avoidance because when I've got headphones on and AirPods, I'm not supposed to be talked to. Just like the phone, like I talked the other day. And you know what? You're doing yourself a disservice because you're missing out on so much the universe wants to tell you. And a lot of times the universe will find other ways. If they have to hit you over the head, they will get that information to you that they. And I think that's what maybe they had to do for Cheryl and I. We were doing all right, but the universe has so much more to tell us, and has told us more. And I look forward to it every day. What the universe has and God has to tell me, because it's epic. It is so epic, and that's why I am in peace with what Cheryl and I have been going through. So I surrendered. Had my coach that got me started with the podcast told me that they had been through a similar thing. They were down to $15 and spent $10 on a lottery ticket, and it didn't win, so they down to 5. And what else did they have to do? They had no more money. They had no nothing. And she said we had to surrender. When you surrender to God, um, God will God will hold you. He'll make sure you're being supported, and may not be the way you think, but He will support you. And sometimes I think it's after the fact. It's like, why am I having to go through this? You will see after the fact, because God is good. God is great. And I always get those posts like, put this up, top to get. God is great, isn't it? God is more than great. God is everything. Um, and I know if you're thinking that this podcast has become more spiritual, more religious, it has, because God is my life now. And I still don't really want to go to church. I don't get churches because I talk to God here, wherever I'm at. He talks to me. And I mean, yeah, you might meet people that are on the same page as you, but and I've said this before. God says getting churches do so much damage to his work, what He's trying to get done, because they hit people over the head, and He's not that way. He's not. And this thing, well, do you read your Bible? Do you do this? Do you attend church? I have not found God to be that way at all. And I'm not saying there are churches out there that are good. And I do like singing. Singing is always good. And it's just it's not for me. I would rather have quote unquote a church out in a park, a spiritual a church that just all of a sudden shows up, and the people that are supposed to be there come towards that church, and we have one of the greatest services, if you want to call it that you get more than you could ever have in a church. Church has too many parameters that are like too rigid, and it's like, if you don't do this, you're a bad Christian. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. So you're just on the path, and the journey that God has you on, because you may not think He does, not that you're not on there, but you are always on a journey, and even when you go off that journey, God's always trying to push you back on, because He does have a calling. That's what you're here for. And like I've said before, when your calling is done, then you leave this planet. And yeah, there is no randomness, like I said before. So on that, I'm going to let everybody go. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the podcast. I made it through without coughing too much. Appreciate every one of you. Yeah, just if you're having problems on this day of Thanksgiving coming up, give thanks to God, because it is all from Him. By the grace of God, everything is. And yeah, and just pray. Pray to God. go out and the people that God has out there helping people, reach out. Reach out. That is one thing I found out before too long. Um, take care of things. Reach out, um, and just do what needs to be done to get you to move forward with this path that God's got you on. So on that, I will let you go. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll talk soon.